Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to week 8 recap of commercial diving school. I'm going to be covering everything we did each day this week in commercial diving school. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you enjoyed, and leave any comments or questions for me down below. So let's start it off with Monday. In the morning we did a short PT session. So we basically just did some stretching, we did some jumping jacks. We were told to call it light stretching since the school discontinued the PT program they used to have due to COVID-19. So after PT or light stretching, we started our lesson on non-destructive testing in the classroom. Then after lunch, we continued with our lesson and basically finished up our lesson on non-destructive testing. And then we got into groups of 5. And we were supposed to come up with a company name and phone number and email and like a mission statement of our company and a slogan, a logo, all these things. And then basically on our 2 dive days for the week, we're going to collect data or record data on a visual inspection of 2 sunken objects. So we basically spent the rest of the day coming up with that information for our company that we would basically eventually be putting all together into a packet to turn that in. So then we had Tuesday and Wednesday were both diving days. So we set up our dive station, and then we got divers in the water to inspect the 2 different sunken objects. So one object was a kind of like a fishing boat. The school previously filled the boat with concrete. It hardened, made the boat super heavy, and then they sunk it down. I'm not sure when they did that, but you know, it's down there, and that's just one thing the school has that we can inspect. Next to the boat, I would say about 15 feet away from the boat is another sunken object, and this one they call the barge. But the barge is basically, I think it was about 12 feet by 5 feet, and it's a bunch of metal, thin sheets welded together, and then they put a bottom on it, and then they sunk it down. So that's the second object that's down there that we inspected. So that information that we recorded for our group would be also put in the packet to be turned in for our company. So that was Tuesday and Wednesday. I dove in the very last group on Wednesday. So I didn't dive at all Tuesday. I actually dove Wednesday at basically the end of the day. My dive went pretty good, although it was very, very deep mud in that area. Your boots sink all the way down, and you're up past your knees in mud, just like this very clay mud. And I actually stuck my hand down in the mud, and then I was wearing gloves, but from what I could see, it just coats your entire glove, and then when you try to get it off in the water, it just makes the water all black because it just completely blocks out any kind of light. So I mean, everything is pretty much by feel that I was doing, feeling how long something is, measuring by body parts. So I can tell the boat or the barge was 5 arm lengths of mine long, and then 2 arm lengths of mine wide. And then up top side, I can measure my arm and be like, okay, that's equal to about 12 feet long by 5 feet wide, something along those lines. We also did ultrasonic testing. So basically took a meter, and it has a long wire attached to it, and then the tip is basically like an ultrasonic machine, kind of like if you went to the doctor and got an ultrasound. Same kind of thing, but it's really small and doesn't quite look the same, but you put it on bare metal with no paint, no rust, nothing, and it'll measure the thickness using sound waves, ultrasonic. So, I mean, yeah, ultrasonic, ultrasound. So, yeah, those are basically the things that we did in the water Tuesday and Wednesday. So Thursday, it was Constitution Day. So in the morning, everybody, the whole entire school went to the cafeteria and we did trivia, basically a competition competing against other tables for, donuts. And the donuts had like red, white, and blue frosting, and it was basically a big, USA theme to it. I think there was 2 guys from other countries. I think one guy's from the UK somewhere, and I won't talk about the other guy because he's in my class and he knows who he is. But yeah, they're just looking at each other like, what's up with this America stuff, like USA stuff, like we don't get it, But anyways, so if you're thinking about going to commercial diving school, especially CDA, and they do some like America stuff, sorry about that, but you're going to school in America. I guess that's just what they do. But for the rest of the day, we did HAZWOPER, which stands for Hazardous Waste Operation and Emergency Response. So that's basically anything that has to do with hazards and hazardous materials, like chemicals or like radiation or anything like that. Just anything that could be hazardous to you on the job. And then for the rest of the day, we watched videos on Thursday. The videos, there's about 20 videos. After each video, we took a quiz that was about 5 questions long. And then after we took the quiz, we would move on to the next video, next video, next video, until we finished at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we ended up taking our test on non-destructive testing. And then on Friday, we started our lesson on inland diving, ship's husbandry, blueprints, contaminated diving, and diving hazards and legislation. So that's a mouthful, but basically we talked about anything that has to do with inland diving, so bridges to what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, working on ships, like ship's husbandry, which is basically like fixing anything on ships or the screws or propellers, stuff like that. So we also talked about contaminated diving. So if you're diving in anything that is contaminated, like radiation or stuff that could be harmful to you, like dirty water and stuff like that, decontaminating, stuff like that. So that was basically everything that we did Monday through Friday this week. I just wanted to reiterate some announcements. So I'm no longer going to be continuing talking about breakfast, because breakfast is the same. It repeats every week. And then same thing for lunch. I'm not going to be continuing mentioning what we had for lunch in my day videos, because lunches repeat every month. So breakfast repeats every week, lunch repeats every month. So for breakfast, it's always going to be eggs, bacon, and coffee cake on Monday, and then I forget what Tuesday through Friday is, but like Friday is always going to be eggs, biscuits and gravy, bacon, and hash browns. So I won't be mentioning that, because if you wanted to know, you could just go back to a previous video and be like, oh, okay. But anyways, my point is that it just repeats, so there's no point in like keep mentioning it. I can just jump straight into the information I'm putting out instead of mentioning meals and stuff. So another announcement is Ocala. I know that the class that's behind us. So when we were sophomores, this would be the freshmen. That class is the last class that's going down to Ocala, and I'm not sure what they're going to do instead for deep water training, because at our main campus right now, the deepest we dive is around 15 to 20 feet. So Ocala is where the deep water training center is. That's where we do all of our deep dives, and I've heard that we do a few 132 foot dives, and then we do like 2 165 foot dives in the diving bell, and that is where we do those deep dives. So I don't know what they're going to do in place of that, if they're going to stop deep diving or if they're going to move that training to a different facility. I'm not sure, but I have heard that they're going to discontinue sending diving students to that location for deep dives. And let's see. But other than that, all I have is the schedule. I know next week we're going to be diving all week, so stay tuned for that. We're now juniors, so we'll see how the junior module goes and if it's a lot better, if we dive more. I know we're going to be doing topside welding, so if you're interested in that, I'll try to get some video footage of that. So yeah, anyways, that's all I have for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions for me, leave it in the comments below. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you guys have a great one. See you in the next one. Peace.